Good morning, guys. So we are back for our last review vlog for the week. Today is Friday, February 7th, and we're gonna review a session we had yesterday, just to close out the week since we're not gonna be playing this weekend, and that way we don't have to wait until Monday to review Thursday's hands. Yesterday we played just barely 7 hours and lost a little bit over $1,000. It was just another one of those annoying nights that just got us into a few annoying spots. And but it was early in the night, and there was just a local 5-10 game that seemed better, so I just went ahead and left WinStar early and went home to the local game before just going home. It was a 5-10 game, so we actually got some of our losses back. So let's go to the two hand histories, right? One is feels pretty cool, and one is pretty annoying. So let's go with the fun hand first. I am in the big blind with $500, and in middle position 1. I haven't given this name out yet, but it's Loose Indian, so we'll call him Lindian, not Tindian. So Lindian has $800. So it's forwarded to Lindian, who then raises to 20. The small blind calls 20. Sorry. Yes, and I am in the big blind, and I have king of spade, jack of spade. So I also call. And now the flop comes queen of spade, 10 of diamonds, and 7 of clubs. And the pot is $60. So I check. The small blind checks. I check. And then Lindian bets $55 into a $60 pot. A really strong bet. So we have an open-ended straight draw with a backdoor flush draw. And so when the small blind folded to us, like, this is a spot where it's a good spot to check raise. But the problem is we have to know the player, right? The player, we just said, is a loose Indian. So he's going to probably pill a lot. Because he had, like, if he has any pair, any gut shot, or any backdoor draws, he'll peel. So there's check raising here is going to get us into a sticky spot out of position where we don't know what to do on the turn if we miss out. So I opted to just call to evaluate on the turn. So the turn is now see here, $160, and it brings a blank, just say 2 diamonds. And then so I check, and then Lindian bets just $70, a weaker side bet now, right? So first it was $55 into $60, so it was $70 into $160. So this feels like a weak made hand, or even a weak draw that was, or weak hand on the flop that was maybe had some kind of good draw, maybe like an ace king, ace jack, which is a gut shot to the nuts, where a big bet was trying to take it down, and then a small, and then because he couldn't, he followed with a small bet. So I sensed this weakness, and I went ahead and jumped on it, and rather than calling and then being out of position and missing it and then have to check fold, I thought that with $230 in the pot now, and I have about $430 left, that there's enough fold equity for me here if I shove, based on his weakness and based on so far what he's shown his patterns. That so I have to succeed 2 out of 3 times here, and I was confident that I could get a fold more than 2 out of 3 times in this spot, given his weakness. So I went ahead and shoved, and then he just thought about it, and he folds. So our read was correct that I think it was good that we waited to evaluate, and then we picked up an extra information on the turn, and then we made our play. We didn't just make our play because just based on our range, but we also made a play based on our range and based on the other players' playing pattern. So that was the first hand. The second hand, it's against some guys who asked me if I'm going to put this hand on there because they want to know what I had. So here it is, boys. You get to find out what I had. So we have Under the Gun 2. I am Under the Gun 2. I have $750. Then we have in the Cutoff. You remember him from a previous video. Tilter, the guy that loves to tilt. He's been working on his tilt, but you can tell he's about to tilt every hand he plays. There's a chance that he could blow up and tilt. So we still call him Tilter. And then we have a new guy. So Tilter's in the Cutoff with just $250. Then we have I believe I see him in the 1-3, kind of moved back from 1-3 to 2-5. Asian guy. So he very quiet, very nice. Every time it comes to him, he goes, thinks. So we'll call him Ponder. Ponder has around, $400. So I don't know what Ponder thinks about. Most of the time he's probably thinking about nothing. But thinking about nothing is also thinking, right? So we look down Under the Gun 2. It's folded to us. We have Ace of Club, Ace of Spade. So I raised to 20. And see here, Tilter calls. The button calls. The small blind calls. And then it comes to Ponder, who also calls. So it's now a 5-way pot. And it's about $100. The flop comes 10 of clubs, 8 of clubs, 5 of clubs. So we flopped a nut flush draw with the overpair. And so everybody here on the table felt they were somewhat on the more straightforward side. So I didn't think anybody was going to be play tricky in here or anything, or I didn't have to worry. So I just went ahead and blasted at this pot. There's straightforward. There's no tricky. There's no deception. We're just gonna blast at this, and anybody who got something, let's go at it. So I bet $75. Then Tilter sits there, tanks, and finally doesn't want to do it, but forces himself to do it and just goes all in. All the blindfolds. Then comes to Ponder, who ponders for a little bit, and then goes all in. So I insta call. The turn comes the 2 diamond, no flush. The river comes the 9 of spade, no flush either, right? So then we flip over our aces. No, we don't flip over aces. First, Tilter flips over because he went all in first. He flips over King of Club, Queen of Diamond, drawing dead to us. Drawing dead to a quick King High Flush and a pair that's no good. So then Ponder turns over Queen of Club, Jack of Diamonds for the gut shot that hits the worst hand with just a gut shot to a non-club. That's the only hand that could beat us, and it got there, and he scoops the pot. So that's right, buddy. You hit a 3-outer on us, and you and the other guy was drawing dead. You were drawing slim, so you got there. Nice hand, and I hope you enjoy this video. That's it for the video. I think that was pretty fun. If you guys are around the Windsor area and you want to come and play and get some hand histories, well, I invite you to come and play and let's have some fun. Now we get to go to the gym and get in our 4th day workout before then we'll come back and do a little contemplating before going off for daddy duties. See you in a little bit. And we're back, guys. So we weren't planning on doing a video right for this video, but I think it's better for us to just go ahead and do a closing in of the week and just wrap things up. That way we don't have to carry anything over from the previous week to next week. So so let's go back and talk about, finish off on delusion, right? So in one of the previous vlog, I said that first there's matter. For matter, we have formation. From formation, we have consciousness. From consciousness, we have perception. From perception, we have thoughts. Thoughts, we have emotions and feelings. So we're right there right now at the point of perception, right? So because we are unable to perceive things, we throughout our daily lives, we have a lot of wrong view, wrong thinking, and wrong action, right? So let's go back to, let's go use a poker table for so we could easily understand things. If you cannot see, observe what your player did, then you're gonna miss something, and you're gonna see things wrongly, right? You're gonna assume incorrectly and make the wrong logical deduction, and from there, because of your wrong view, leads to wrong thinking, and because of your wrong thinking, now what you're doing is you're making a play, your action, based on your thinking, but your thinking is wrong, so now your actions is wrong. So it all has been a domino effect of just from wrong view. So, and then let's take it to the outer life, right? We see it all the time, is that our views of things and whether we like things or not is not based on anything factual or truth, but it's based on our personal experience, right? So let's take a car ride, for example. A person who first gets into a car. If that person had a smooth and fast and quick ride, then they're gonna associate a car ride as a positive experience. And from there on, anytime that the concept of a car ride comes up, they like it. It's positive to them. Whereas now, a first person who just got into the car, gets on a bumpy rides, gets lost, and gets into an accident. Well, their experience is on the negative side. So anytime that the memories of a car ride come up, they're associated with a negative experience. So what we can see is that the car ride itself has no I guess positive and negativity to it. Is our experience, our memories, and we attach that to the event or the subject, and then that creates likes or dislikes. And that's why we see that the hatred is rooted in not in anything factual or truth, but it's rooted in our personal experience and our memories. And those really have no base because they're not truth at all. They're just based on what we observe and perceive. So we can see this, then we can start looking at, okay, well, what are all these aversions, likes and dislikes that I have? Are they out of experience, or are they out of something that's real and truthful? Like, do I not like a banana because it's not bad for me, or is it just because I had a bad experience and now I won't eat a banana though it's good for me because my aversion, my hatred is more than the good that this banana is for me, right? So now we have the wrong view, and then which led to wrong thinking, and now we have wrong action. Right? We start doing a lot of bad things for us. We don't eat correctly because we associate good, nutritious food taste bad, right? And then we eat all this bad food because the first time we ate this food, it was like very good and we had this great experience. So we want all this junk food. So now our actions are all totally wrong, right? We're doing things that are bad for us all the time. And now we don't, so it becomes a habit and compulsion. So we develop all this, and then from there we can never see the truth. We can never see this again until we start peeling back the layers and going back to the root. And the root of all that is our perception. And if we could trace back all of our trauma, all of our likes, dislikes, opinions, we could all trace it back to somewhere in the past based on memories and experience. And then we could know that this is all baseless and it's all impermanent. Like our aversions will one day becomes a like. Something we like one day will become dislike. So what we need to then do is develop a sense of balance, right? Where not result oriented, a sense of equanimity where this is good, but it's irrelevant to you. You take whatever comes, the good and the bad, and you experience it, and you understand that it's all part of the process. And you don't get too high, and you don't get too low. So, and when you develop a sense of equanimity, then life is just is smooth flowing because nothing gets to you anymore. So, I hope that's the conclusion of the week. I hope that you are practicing at the poker table, at the dinner table, when you're walking, when you're sitting, or right now. Just watch your breath for a few, 1, 2, 3. And that's when you know that you at least snap yourself out of waking sleep for just that brief moment. And if you keep pushing it, muster up that effort every moment, and it doesn't go to waste, right? It's like a bank. Every second that you work on yourself goes into the time bank of self-cultivation, and eventually that time bank will open. And some days you're gonna feel like you're just putting stuff in a bank with no returns. But then one day that bank is gonna boom open, and everything's just gonna flower and burst out. And then you're gonna have that sense of peace and that sense of tranquility and that mental fitness that we've all been craving for. See you next week.